Who are you?
Whoever you want me to be.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
It's feeling epic.
3 words. 8 letters.
I remember everything.
Hello. Welcome back to Previously on Teen TV. I'm Jillian Banani, back with another very special episode. It's been a minute, but I'm so excited to talk about XO Kitty. It is back with season 2 on Netflix. This is the first big teen show that's coming back in 2025, which is very exciting. We actually get a lot of teen shows coming back this year after a rough 2024 after the writers and actors strike. So I feel like we're back. We're getting a bunch of new shows, and XO Kitty is a great one to start out with. So I never talked about season 1 of this show, and I gotta admit to you guys, before I actually watched this show, I was a little bit skeptical. I thought, why do we need this? Spinoffs barely work. We knew Kitty as a child. I was like, is this going to be a Disney Channel show? Is it going to be weird to see her date? And then I actually watched it. I mean, of course, I watched it the second it came out. But I quickly learned, we need this. I loved season 1. I thought it was such a fun, heartwarming watch. But I really love that this show has a lot of twists. Like, it goes to places I didn't think it would go. You think that Kitty and Day are going to be this main couple of the show. She goes to kiss to find out about her mom, but also to be with him. And then, after some challenges, they're together. And I thought, okay, this will be it. Like, Day is her endgame character. But then we quickly learn, no. Like, it's such a twist that Day no longer becomes the love interest. And Kitty has crushes on multiple people, which I love. She's messy, and it makes for a fun show and something we really haven't seen before. I like that she's kind of the opposite of Lara Jean with her love life. She's a little bit more all over the place, has crushes on multiple different people all the time. We finally have a bisexual queen, which we really haven't had much representation of in these shows. And I just love that they did that with this character and had her grow so much more from the movies. We really didn't know her that well in the movies. She was much more of a side character. So it's so great to see her grow up on this show and to really learn more about her and to continue on with the To All the Boys universe. I also love that the show takes place at a boarding school. We need more shows at boarding school. It's nice not to have to worry about the parents or rules. We barely show the parents anyways in these shows. So I love the boarding school atmosphere. It just makes it a little bit more fun. We're living together. We're going to school together. Causes a lot more drama. So here is my call for more boarding school shows. Get me like a Gossip Girl style boarding school show. I'm kind of shocked that they've never done that, actually. So I love that we get to see that with this show as well. So season 1, we had a lot of getting to know these characters and setting up Kitty at Kiss. And then in season 2, we get right into the drama and the stakes are much higher. We already have a more grown-up Kitty. She went home for winter break and she really grew up. She got new teeth, no more glasses. She said, I'm becoming Kitty 2.0 when I go back to school. I really want to know how long this winter break was. I mean, I know this season was filmed years later, but it just kind of made me laugh that this show picks up not far where it left off, and Kitty definitely looks a little bit more grown up. But it works for her. I love that she's a little bit more grown up this season. So we start this season pretty much where we left off. Kitty is back at Kiss after winter break. Still shocked over Mino confessing his love to her on the plane ride home. I'm still shocked about that. I love that scene. It was so unexpected. And just one of those things that makes this show what it is. Like, the constant twist, you don't know where this show is going to go. So things get even more complicated for Kitty when she finds out she's rooming with Yuri, who she's still crushing on, but Yuri's happy with Juliana, and now they all have to live together. And then Kitty meets Pravina, who seems like a good new love interest for Kitty. I was rooting for them at one point, but that quickly fades out. When it comes out, Kitty's still in love with Yuri. And everything comes to a head on a ski trip of all places. I love that callback from To All the Boys. Basically, this show is a love hexagon. And I love it. All the characters are crushing on each other. Someone has a crush on someone 1 second. The next second, it's somebody else. We're getting a lot of love confessions. We're getting a lot of like dating for a few weeks, which I love in this show. It's just constantly changing. And I feel like it's a much more accurate representation of what dating as a teenager actually is. Instead of like, this is my person, we're going to be together forever. And they date for like multiple years on the show. That's not happening with this show. People are, bouncing around. And I appreciate that. Beyond Kitty, basically, everyone is looking for love. Day seems to be over Kitty and is ready to move on. Q has a new love interest. Mino moves on from Kitty with Stella to clearly try and get over Kitty, even though Stella's fake dating him to get back at his talent manager dad for saying she'll never make it as a singer because of how she looks. I love that Mino's dad is basically the Simon Cowell of Korea. Love the camp that is added to this show. I mean, they really go for it. Like that whole storyline was just so campy to me. And Mino's dad was just such a character. And this girl going to this school, going through all these hoops to get back at Korean Simon Cowell is so funny to me. I loved it. I love that like side storyline. I mean, Stella was pretty evil this season. We really, we had a strong villain for sure. Let's talk a little bit about all the couples, all the relationships. Again, this show is a love hexagon, rhombus, octagon. I don't really know. Geometry was never my strong suit. But all I know is that there's a lot of relationships going on here. I kind of hated that Q started dating his bully Jin. I feel like this has happened now like in a couple of teen shows. Sex Education is one that comes to mind. And I'm just kind of over this trope. I just don't love it. It didn't really feel fleshed out enough on this show. I originally thought Jin was from another school and that him and Q were track rivals, which I thought was fun. I thought it would be fun to have Q dating somebody else from a different school who's a little bit outside of the circle. But then I feel like they took it a step further where they're track rivals, but then Jin also bullied Mino and Day, which I just didn't love. And Jin was a fine character. I just don't know why we needed to give him that like dark backstory. I thought it would have been more fun if we just kept this like to track rivals. But they really they had a good thing going on. I want to say, I feel like they were maybe not the strongest couple of the season, but they made it to the season's end, which is strong. They had their hurdles where Q didn't want to admit to dating him, probably because he was a bully and scared to tell his friends. Again, don't love that. But they ended up being cute and really being there for each other. And Q was very much there for Jin after his track injury, which was very cute to see. They had a lot of cute moments for sure. What I did love was Q and Kitty's friendship. That really brought a lot of comedy to this season. He really keeps her in his place, but continues to be a nice sounding board for her, which I really like. I honestly just think Q might be one of my favorite characters on this show. He has some really good one-liners, which I really like. He's really bringing the comedy. I feel like he's somebody I would be friends with in real life. And like, we'd be like yapping together. Like, can you believe what Kitty is doing? I mean, that would just be a blast. I would love to be Q's friend who's like outside of this circle and get all the drama of what's happening in his group. That would really be a fun friendship. Day has really gotten moved to second chair this season, which I was kind of surprised about. He wasn't in much of the season. This is probably because Mino became more of the lead guy, which again, I love that this show is moving things around, keeping it fresh. From where season 1 starts, you would not have guessed that Day would kind of be a little bit more in the background in season 2 and that Mino would be the lead guy. It's just kind of shocking. And I love that this show just doesn't really necessarily follow the teen show format. It gives you those twists. It gives you those turns, even though it's, a comedy for the most part, but with plenty of drama, I gotta say. Great balance of comedy and drama in this one. I do love that we moved Mino to be the number one guy in the group this season. It is well deserved. He is giving us the charisma. He is giving us the one-liners. He's giving us that leading man energy, which I love. I'm here for it. I'm a Mino girly. Where can I sign up? Vice president of his fan club. We really saw a softer side to Mino this season too. I love that we really more saw his feelings for Kitty this season, which we did start to see in season 1. But I did not see his love confession coming at the end of season 1. So I feel like we really saw more how he was feeling, the after effects, how Kitty has affected him, and that he was very wounded when Kitty turned him down at the end of season 1. We saw not as much cockiness this season. We still saw his confidence, but I liked that, he didn't have this big bravado. We saw the softer side to him, which we needed. We all agree that Mino and Kitty should be endgame, right? I usually do not love a slow burn, but this one was really working for me. I think it was because they were enemies to lovers and then friends. And then we better be getting full lovers next season. I cannot believe we did not see them kiss at the end. I was mad about that. Jenny Han, how could you do this to me? But I feel like it was for a good reason. I feel like we're really going to see the relationship blossom next season. I just think all signs are pointing to Endgame. I love that we were able to see them build a real foundation as friends this season. Mino was really there for Kitty when he needed her. We saw him comfort her in the hot tub of all places. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We really saw him comfort her, be there for her, amidst all of her family drama, all of her friends' drama. It was just really nice to see him step up, even when he was heartbroken by her. So I really feel like they built a really good foundation as friends this season. And we got a lovely rain scene with them. I mean, that's just screaming Endgame to me. I feel like there was still so much romance with them this season, even though they weren't together. I mean, they had a rain scene. He's hugging her, there for her. He's calling her Covey. I mean, the Covey killed me, you guys. The minute that he said Covey, I think we got it in episode 1. I sat up. I was shook. I thought, oh my God, they're doing it. So smart. I love a callback to All the Boys. And it really then makes you feel like these two are going to be endgame if he's calling her Covey. And no one else called her Covey. I was taking notice, you guys. No one else did. Well, okay, let's talk about all of the To All the Boys Exo Kitty parallels we got this season, because there were a lot. I feel like this season was like a love letter, pun intended, to all the boys. And I loved every second of that. I actually got worried for a second that this was going to be the last season of the show because there were so many parallels to All the Boys. So I thought, are they like saying goodbye with this? But then as I got through the episodes, I definitely think we'll be getting a season 3. Nothing has been announced yet, but I feel like the way that they left it, we'll definitely be getting a season 3. We better be. I will riot if not. So we get love letters. That's a huge parallel to All the Boys. We have Kitty writes a love letter to Yuri that she doesn't plan on sending. And then, of course, that letter gets read aloud because of Stella. This is where I was like, Stella, you are going way too far. Can't you find another distraction to go through Mina's dad's desk than throwing Kitty under the bus in this way? Like, what did Kitty do to you? That was annoying. I feel like they were trying to throw us off of like, who is Stella after? Because for a second I was like, it seems like she's after Kitty. For a second I thought, is Stella the sister of one of the other guys that Lara Jean wrote a letter to? And is she trying to get revenge or something like that. I don't know. I was going a little crazy with like the conspiracy theories on Stella there. But it just seemed like she had a vendetta against Kitty. But then we find out it was just to distract so she could go through the desk. That love letter scene though, where everyone is reading it aloud. Oh my God. Ugh, so cringe. I felt so bad for Kitty. That is so embarrassing. And it was a lovely letter, by the way. Very well written. Those Covey girls really know how to write a love letter. But when Yuri confronts Kitty saying, did you write me a love letter? Like, oh my God. I was like, Kitty, it is hard to walk this back. It is hard because you can't really say you didn't, but it's like you didn't mean to send it. So my heart really went out to Kitty. That was just sad when everyone was like laughing about it. I did not like that. Other parallels, we get Mino calling Kitty Covey. Probably my favorite parallel. There's something about the number one guy in the group saying Covey. It is just, it hits every time. We got Kitty also falling on the track in the same way that Lara Jean did. And if you watch that scene, they fall on the track in the exact same way. Like it is timed perfectly. I put out a video on social media timing this up together, and it's truly uncanny. So be sure to check that out. We also get a ski trip. Everything happens on a ski trip. We always get to the climax of these on a ski trip. That's where all the drama goes down and everything happens. And I love that we get a hot tub scene as well. We love a hot tub scene. I love that the hot tub scene in XO Kitty is different though than the one in To All the Boys. There's definitely a parallel where Mino gets in with his clothes on, similar to Lara Jean. But I love that it's a more of a friendly encounter than the one with Peter and Lara Jean, which was to hook up. So I love that it's a parallel, but it's not exactly the same thing, because I think that Kitty and Mino will deserve their own romantic moments that are separate from To All the Boys. So if it was exactly in the same way as they did it in To All the Boys, I don't think we would love it as much, you know, and they deserve those own moments together. So I thought having these parallels while they're still friends, while Mino and Kitty are still friends, was really smart. And I really like that they did that. I just thought all the parallels were really smart. I loved it. It just warmed my heart. I love that they are paying homage to where this show came from. And it's nice that Jenny Han is just so involved in both of these, because then it allows those parallels to live on. I think that it just would have been so easy to do a spin-off and be like, these are all new characters. We're doing something different. This is not like to All the Boys movies, and just really try and step away from that. And I like that they didn't do it. And I kind of like that they waited till season 2 to do this as well. You know, we didn't get that many parallels in season 1. We established Kitty as her own character, as her own show, as a new thing. And then in season 2, they said, okay, we're going to give you these parallels as a love letter to where we came from, which I loved. And we get so many cameos from our favorite To All the Boys characters. I mean, Margot, that was shocking to me. I was not expecting that. So that was very fun to see her involved, and not just on a FaceTime. We got her fully filming in Korea with the cast and crew. I thought that that was really great that she did that. I love that we still get to see the bond of these sisters. And I need Lara Jean in season 3. Can we please make that happen? I'm very curious if they asked her. If they asked Lana to come back and maybe it just didn't work schedule-wise. I mean, to be fair, they filmed this show in Seoul, in South Korea. So that's a lot to do for a cameo. And then we got to talk about the biggest cameo that happened. Huge, huge, huge. We got the return of Peter Kavinsky. Guys, this was so good. This was way better than my expectations. I really thought he was just going to come in for like one scene, something quick. We just saw him and Kitty like grabbing coffee. That's really what I thought it was going to be. And he ended up being in a lot of this episode. And it was such a treat. And Noah just gets Peter, I feel like. I was a little worried of, This actor who's done a lot of different things now, he's doing a lot of action now. I was a little bit worried, like, can he step back into Peter's shoes? Is it going to be as good as it was in the movies? And it was even better than I could have imagined. It was so good. It was just so nice to see him and Kitty really bond together. And it's nice that we get to see Lara Jean and Peter live on through this series. Again, I think that they could have avoided that, and not mentioned Lara Jean and Peter and just pretended like they really didn't exist. But they're paying homage to where they came from. And it was just so fun seeing Peter and Kitty interact together, but Kitty being older and Peter having respect for Kitty and teenage Kitty and giving her really great advice. They just have a really good dynamic together, which I love. I mean, the scene of them shopping for glitter pens was so cute and fun, and that's where he's really trying to get her to realize that Mino is into her. She's still in denial, and it's great seeing Peter's perspective of that. And he acknowledges that Mino's calling her by her last name. He's like, that's a sign. And we're all like, yeah, Peter, we know. But then their final scene together where Kitty goes to Peter and is like, I'm messing everything up. I'm meddling too much. And Peter says, you not minding your business or something like that, or you overstepping landed me the love of my life. I just got chills as I thought about it. The way that Noah delivers that line is so good. And it's exactly what Kitty needs to hear, that, she's not overstepping. She just cares and she wants everybody to be happy. And the way that Peter helps her to see that, I just think is so beautiful. And he just delivers the line in such a good way. I was like, please get Noah back into a romance. We need him. I don't need him into all the boys again. I'm fine. We can leave that where it was, but get this guy in another romance. Because the way that he looked at her and said that, and it's not even a romantic scene, but he sees her and he's looking at her and he's convincing her. And it's just so good. And not every actor has that. And I think Noah has it. Stop with the action. Let's just take a little bit of a break from the action movies and shows. Get in a romance. Netflix, if you're listening, I hope you are. Please get Noah back in a romance. We need it. The world needs it. This will heal us in 2025. Peter was just such a bright spot. I could keep talking about it forever. All right, let's talk about Kitty's family drama a little bit. This is another main plot point for this show. Let's not forget that Kitty also went to Kiss to learn more about her mom. And I love that that was still at the forefront of this season, even with all of her love life drama. The show does a really good job of balancing all the romance drama, love triangles, relationship stuff with Kitty's family drama as well, and her uncovering more about her mom while she attends the same school as her. The scene where Kitty watches her mom in the video, oh my God, this scene was so heartbreaking. I loved it. I mean, what an opportunity for her to be able to actually see her mom and see her at the age that she is now, like full of life, enjoying where she's at school. I just thought that that was such a beautiful moment, and I was just happy that Kitty had that because her mom died when she was very young. She doesn't have many memories of her at all, which is really sad. So I was happy that we got to see that and that we got to see her. It felt like she was really connecting with her mom this season. The storyline from last season of Kitty thinking that her mom had a baby while she was at school, and then we find out it was Yuri's mom. I like that we didn't expand more on that. This focus was fully on Kitty's family drama. And she discovers that her mom had a cousin and she has all this family in Seoul, in South Korea. We see her track them down and go to visit them, which turns out quite poorly. I like that it didn't turn out great, though, at first. I think that that's a little bit more realistic because Kitty comes in, like a wrecking ball. It's a little bit of her personality. She doesn't start with a phone call. She tries to go undercover as somebody looking for a matchmaker, which I love that her great aunt is a matchmaker. I thought that that was a really good thread, and showing Kitty is, you know, she's trying to figure out how she is like her family. She doesn't feel like she's like her mom at all, which, you know, Margot tells her that she is. But it was nice to see then, too, that she connects a lot with her great aunt, which I thought was very fun. This scene at the end with the families reuniting was just so beautiful. I cried, you guys. It was so cute. I was so happy that that all worked out. I was just happy for Kitty that she has that connection now with her family. And she's the one who brought everybody together and healed a lot of past trauma and drama. So, as Peter said, her overstepping did it right. She knows what she's doing. Okay, back to the video scene, though, because I just think this was a pivotal scene, too, for Yuri and Kitty. We see them kiss after watching the video. Did you guys think that they just got caught up in the moment a little bit? This was Yuri's excuse, and I did kind of believe her. It doesn't feel like Yuri had the same feelings for Kitty that Kitty has. It just does not feel reciprocated on Yuri's end, really, at all. I do believe that she sees Kitty as more of a friend, which was sad to see that not reciprocated for Kitty. You just wanted her to get a little bit of a win. I'm wondering, though, next season if we'll start to see Yuri maybe crush on Kitty a little bit now that her and Juliana are officially done so. I don't know, though. Again, it really feels like Yuri never saw Kitty as more than a friend. I was a little sad that we didn't get to see their relationship fully flesh out or to see more of them together. I do think that they have a great bond. I feel like it's a little bit more sisterly. Like this past of their moms was really bonding them together. So it doesn't feel super romantic to me. Again, more so from Yuri's side. But I just kind of would have loved to see Kitty in a little bit more of a relationship with a girl, since we didn't really get that after she comes out as bisexual. And her and Pravina just goes nowhere real quick. Pravina is like, you have a crush on Yuri. You're not over it. I'm done. And good for Pravina. Do we think Pravina and Juliana will get together now? Again, everyone is just dating everybody in this show, and I'm here for it. This is like Gossip Girl on crack, where everyone is dating everybody, but it all happens within like 2 seasons of each other instead of 6. Okay, we got to talk about the ending now. So everything comes to a head at the talent show, which you gotta love this talent show. I mean, we had dancers, we had fireworks, we had an audience. This is being portrayed on TV, streamed everywhere, which was really making me laugh that the talent show for this school is this huge event. Such camp. I love when this show leans into the camp and just doesn't take itself too seriously and leans a little bit more into the comedy. And we really got that with this talent show. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Never Have I Ever, another Netflix show. I feel like they're similar tones. We get some great performances in this talent show. I mean, shout out to Day. I know he got moved to second fiddle this season, but he was a star in that talent show. I did not know that he had it in him. Like, is he the next K-pop star? I know he didn't win the talent show, but I was really impressed with his performance. I was shocked. I love that we saw that side to him. We see Day really shy a lot of the time. So it was nice to see him really bloom this season, if you will, and really get out in the spotlight a little bit. So everything comes to a head when Stella gets caught. Mino is finally believing Kitty. Stella is taken away by security. Finally. I mean, what a devious villain she was. She's putting out videos from internet cafe. She's lying to everybody. She's like 3 different personalities. I was happy to see she got caught, but I did want to see her perform at the talent show. Okay. Did anybody else want to see this? There was so much buildup. I kind of wanted to see her give like an amazing performance at this talent show and show Korea Simon Cowell that she still has it and she can do it. I just really wanted to know if she was going to be good or not. We needed to see that. I mean, her voice sounded good on that video, on that YouTube video. So I was kind of sad we were denied that performance, but I get it. She was a full villain of this story. It was nice to see her pulled away. And then we also have another big cliffhanger at the end. We find out Yuri is now poor because there's all these lawsuits against her dad's company, which it seems like Day's dad is also part of the lawsuits, which is good. Let's see that man get his bank. But what is Yuri going to be like poor? I feel like this is such a classic teen drama trope where the rich girl becomes poor in season like 2 or 3. We saw this in One Tree Hill with Brooke. We saw this in the OC with Marissa. I love it every time. Although I am going to miss seeing Yuri's shopping trips. That was always a highlight to me in the show. I love the fashion. She is always serving us great looks. So we better be able to see her still serving next season. I need it. I need the fashion to still be a game. But so sad she's poor. She's poor and she's single. Juliana will not take her back. They decide to be friends, which I feel like will be good for Yuri. I do feel like she was a little too dependent on Juliana, it kind of sounded like. So it'll be interesting to see where they all go in season 3 and what happens with that. I did like her and Juliana together. Although Juliana really was not doing it for me this season. She was barely in season 1, and then now she's officially back at Kiss. And I was just kind of like, you're so jealous of Kitty, which like I guess she had a reason to be because Kitty does have a crush on Yuri. But I just thought that, you know, she was a little too hard on Kitty, I thought. It's like, Yuri still loves you. Why are you being so hard on Kitty? And then the final cliffhanger that we get is Kitty goes to talk to Mino, and it seems like she's discovered that she has feelings for him. She does not reveal this, but they definitely have a moment, and it's nice to see. And you think, are they gonna kiss? Do it. And then Mino says he has to go. He's going on the K-pop tour with his brother and dad and Jay's now girlfriend, and Kitty asked to join him. So that was exciting. We know they're going to be spending all this time together. We better be getting some flashbacks to this K-pop tour. I want to see them all on this tour. Give me some of that camp. Show me some K-pop. I love it. And I hope we just get like a montage of them on this tour together and we see them getting closer, but still nothing really happening. They're still friends. And then I hope in season 3, it finally happens. Maybe like episode 1, they kiss, they confess feelings for each other, and then we see them date throughout season 3. That is my guess. That's what I hope to happen. I'm just going to riot if we do not get scenes of them on this tour together. I need it to happen, but I need to see the moment where they get together. So that's why I don't want it to happen on this tour. Other things I want to see in season 3. I mean, all signs are pointing to a Kitty and Mino endgame. So we better be seeing that. I want to see them in a full-on relationship. We've got them as enemies. We've got them as friends. Now it's time to see them be lovers. We need it. We better be seeing that in season 3. And I'm just excited for more drama in season 3. I really cannot predict this show. I don't know where it will go. If you would have told me we would be doing K-pop talent show, I would not have been able to guess that, but I love it. I love when they take the show out of the school a little bit more. They really did that a lot this season. I feel like they got a bigger budget, so we got to see a lot of Seoul, which was really great. I love it when they do that. I want to see like another trip or something. But basically, if we know this show at all, everyone who is currently dating each other will not be dating each other by the end of next season. So it's just hard to predict, you guys. There's too many twists. All I can say is I better not be seeing another love interest come in for Kitty. I need full focus on Mino and Kitty. That's all. And a season 3 has not been announced yet. I feel like it will be, though. The show has been number 1 on Netflix. I feel like people really love it, and it gets, good ratings, good reviews. It's kind of everywhere when it comes out. So I feel like we'll get a season 3 of this show, but we will see. We will see. I'm curious though too if season 3 would be the ending because of there was 3 movies. But again, I don't want to follow the movies too much. This show is different from the movies, so I don't want to fall too much into that. But I'm hoping we can get some more To All the Boys parallels. I mean, they really only paralleled the first movie. So show me some parallels from movie 2 and 3, even though I know the first one is the better one and will continue to be the better one. Did anybody else rewatch the movies as they were watching XO Kitty? Because I did. It was hard not to. It was just too good. I can rewatch To All the Boys 900 times and still not be sick of it. And thank God that they did this TV show right, or else it might tarnish the movies. It's fun that we enjoy the TV show and enjoy the movies. You can enjoy it all together and have a great old time. That's what we love. Thank you, Netflix, and thank you, Jenny Han. All right, I feel like those are pretty much all my thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought on season 2 of XO Kitty. You can follow me on all the socials, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, TikTok at @previously_on_teen TV. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.